What's going on, everyone? This is Jag Central and I hope you're all doing well. I've just got back home from the game and that was not a fun watch. Before the game, the excitement, the interest, the atmosphere, everything is amazing. The weather wasn't as bad. It was very cold, but it wasn't raining, it wasn't windy. And yeah, it was just a really amazing atmosphere today before the game. During the game, even the first quarter, everything was all good. It was, one thing I was going to say is the Bears fans travelled. That was 70% Bears fans, probably 5% Jaguars fans, and then the rest were just basically fans of other teams. But yeah, the Bears fans showed up and you could feel it. I don't know if you could feel it through the TV, but you could feel it. It felt like a Bears home game. The Jags lay an egg. We lose 34-16. To be honest, I can't exactly remember what the score was at the end. But yeah, we laid an egg. We dropped to 1-5. And this is just one day after the owner, Shad Khan, basically yesterday just said he believes in the players, he believes in the coaching staff, and he believes in Trent. And now the questions are going to be asked, does he still believe in them? To be honest, if you had asked me before the game, I know we were 1-4. And whether I believed in the team or not, I believed in the team to finish this London trip. So today's game, next week's game, 3-4, and then just see where that takes us. Because 3-4, at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world. And yeah, let's just go straight into the game. The Jags came out looking really promising. Like in the first quarter, the defense got a couple of 3-and-outs. Offensively, we were moving the ball, and at this point in the first quarter, I was thinking, all right, cool. It looks like they've carried over the confidence of last week into this week. The Jaguars defense started the matchup really strong with an immediate 3-and-out, and I can't remember the last time we've had a 3-and-out. Oh yeah, speaking of that, I think we are one of the only teams who have let the opposition score on their opening drive. That has literally just come to me right now, because I'm about to say I can't remember the last time we had a 3-and-out to start the game off. And yeah, today was basically the first time this season we've had a 3-and-out to start the game, and we sack Caleb Williams on the first drive. And I was just thinking, all right, cool, this looks really good. And one thing that we know about this Jaguars team is that they're a confidence team. So when their defense is humming, the offense just basically feed off that energy, and they just start playing so much better, the offense. And the offense just put together a 14-play drive where we got into the end zone, and I think we were maybe 5 yards out of the goal line, 6 yards, and we self-destruct. I think we had two penalties, set us back, and then we had to settle for the field goal. And at that point, I was thinking to myself, all right, we've shown that we can move the ball. It doesn't matter if we get another possession and we do the same thing. I think this game could be a really good game for the offense, especially with the defense playing that well. The defense came out again, 3-and-out, and at that point I was thinking to myself, all right, cool, the Jags have this game. And yeah, and on that first drive, Gabe Davis was hitting the chest, and he dropped a short touchdown from Trevor Lawrence. We could have went up 7-0, but we had to settle for the field goal. And then after that first quarter, where I think we were up 3-0, it was looking really promising. But to be honest, that was the beginning of the end. We ended up losing the second quarter 14-0, and the Bears go into the second half with I think it was a 17-3 lead. And we end up getting the ball back. We end up starting the second half, and that's when we turn over the ball. Evan Ingram gets the ball ripped out, and the Bears end up scoring and make it going up 21-3. The good thing is, the Jags responded really well there. Like, they responded so well, get a touchdown, and now the score is 21-10. At this point in the third quarter, I'm thinking to myself, it's fine. We're only down by 11. I know it's a 2-score game, but the defense just needs to get a couple of stops, and also then the offense need to convert on their plays. And yeah, that was not it. So this is the point where I don't know whether to start the defense or start the offense, but after that touchdown, that was the chance to get the offense off the field. And let's just start on the defense. Like, third downs last week is something which I talked about quite significantly towards the middle of the end of the video was that we do some things really, really well on first and second down, and then when it gets to third down, that's when we let ourselves down. This week, it seemed like that was not the only down we struggled on. We struggled on first down, second down, third down, and fourth down, where the Bears they got into the end zone, they got into the red zone, and it was an immediate or a sure touchdown they were going to score. I think they had about 8 real plays, apart from the ones where they would just run out the clock and stuff, where they, I think, converted 4 for 4 touchdowns or 5 for 5 touchdowns, and then they had maybe 1 punt, and then 1 field goal or something. I can't remember, but every time they got into the red zone, they converted essentially. And we killed ourselves on that third quarter drive where we had just got a touchdown. We had 3 untimely penalties and fouls, which was so frustrating. The first one, they were 3rd and 11, and I think they were out of field goal range. And if they were in field goal range, cool. They score because it's still a two-score game because they go up by 14. And first one, we have a penalty where we take them out of field goal range, and the refs bring it back and they make it 3rd and 5, and then we give ourselves another penalty, and then they get an automatic first down. And at this point, I'm thinking to myself, this is ridiculous. Like, let's just get them back to third down and we can get the ball back. We get them back to third down, and guess what? Another holding by Ronald Darby. And that was essentially the nail in the coffin for the game, to be honest. And then they end up scoring, and they go up by 3 scores. And then from there, going into the fourth quarter, being able to overcome a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter is literally unlikely, and it's basically a good game. The other thing I wanted to know is, apart from the first quarter where we did really well to get 3 and outs, what happened to the pressure from the edge? Like, there was no pressure. And the other annoying thing was missed tackles. The amount of missed tackles where we get to the ball carrier and then they just find a way to break that tackle and get through another tackle and get through another tackle. And then before we know it, they've gained 20 yards. And the other thing is on Caleb Williams, the amount of time we let him scramble and then we miss bringing him down, and he goes up for 10, 15, 20 yards runs. And it's just so annoying. And then, it was just so frustrating from the defense, just watching them just let the Bears offense just go run all over them, pass all over them. It was just really, really ridiculous. And then look at the Jags as a whole. They looked like they were jet lagged. Like in my last video, the one that I put out in the middle of the week, where I talked about how the Bears had an advantage on the Jags, essentially because the Jags basically arrived 48 hours ago, and the Bears arrived 6 days ago. They arrived on Tuesday, so they were already acclimatized to their surroundings, to the time zone. They're less likely to be jet lagged, and we could see it in the Jags. There were penalties that they gave up where it's not even like penalties where it's in the middle of the play. It's false starts. It's illegal formation, and it was just ridiculous. And then there were fumbles, there were drop balls. Like I think we had maybe 2-3 drop balls. 2 were in the kind of in and around the red zone. One of them was in the end zone. I remember Gabe Davis. Actually, no, I think there was 2 Gabe Davis and 1 Brian Thomas. So yeah, there were a lot of drop balls. We had one where Travis Etienne dropped the ball. Then it seemed like the Bears had recovered it, and it was a turnover. The refs didn't deem it as a footballing play, or he hadn't got proper possession of the ball. So what happens? They get the ball back, and then Evan Ingram does the same thing where he turns over the ball. We gave up 4 sacks. The O-line was back to their old self. We gave up 4 sacks. The run game, non-existent. And I think with Travis Etienne being the number 1 back, it just seems like his days are numbered, because I think he might have had -1 yards. I can't remember when I saw the stats sheet. I haven't got it right in front of me, and I didn't see him all second half. At first, I thought maybe he's injured or something, but I just had checked the news after the game. There was nothing wrong with him. It was just a coaching decision. And now the question is, where do we go from here? Like, do we let go of the coach? Do we let go of coordinators? Do we trade players now while they still have value and haven't got much left on their contract? The one that comes to mind for me is Kirk. and just get some draft capital and just start looking forward to the draft. Because at 1-5, it is really, really difficult to start being positive, because from here, our schedule wasn't the best at the beginning, and it's not going to get any easier. We've got the Packers, we've got the Vikings, we've got the Texans, we've got a date in Detroit against the Lions. So we've got very, very tough schedules. Not like we have easy schedules coming our way. So yeah, I don't really know where to go from here, to be honest. Like, I think I'm a very optimistic Jaguars fan. We can go and play the Patriots next week and blow them out, and I could be like, all right, cool, we're 2-5. All right, cool. Now just a few wins and we'll be back at 500. But yeah, it's really, really tough to like stay optimistic and stay positive with what we've been seeing this season. But yeah, that wasn't a fun watch, but nevertheless, it was amazing to go see the Jaguars play in person. That's one thing I love about being a Jags fan here in London, is that you always get to see your team compared to other teams. Other fans of other teams, they don't get to see their team as often. I was speaking to some Bears fans, and yeah, they were just like, I've come from Manchester, which is like 5 hours away. Some were like, I've come from Scotland, which is 7 hours away. Some came from Ireland, some came from Germany, just to see their team play. And I get the luxury of seeing the Jags play every year, twice a year. I won't be watching them next week, but yeah. And I got to see some Jags fans from Jacksonville / Orlando, or from the Florida area, and it was really nice seeing fellow Jags fans from Jacksonville as well. And yeah, some of them, even though they made the long trip, they weren't really happy with making the long trip and seeing the egg that the Jacksonville Jaguars laid. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Just don't forget to subscribe, like, and there's going to be a game day vlog that's going to come out really soon as well.